have the 100% score on those pistol rounds, to me now it seems like G2 is set up for success.
And map 3 here between G2 and FaZe to close out, well, to give the lead early, I should say, to somebody in Group A. The dash quick onto the site. That's Baby Bay to take it. And once more, G2 starts their defense. A bit slower, a bit more passive, and FaZe on their front foot once more. Baby Bay, though, deep inside the smoke. Oxy will eventually get punished as Penny gets one back. Smokes back sight and a flash just on the outside of it as a frenzy spam comes through and the bodies start to fall. They're falling in favor of G2. Now Supa has to try and hold on. He's got one smoke to play with, but 2 players to worry about. And he's only got a classic as Penny hops off the spike. The trust not there. So Shaz to find the frag, to get back on. And G2, hey, they look pretty good in the pistol again.
And they happen to do it again now for the 3rd map. What a good way to start it off, right? You want to keep that momentum that Icebox was able to give to them. And Icebox, it was pretty much Oxy just fragging out, but it felt really standard, everything that we saw from them. This is the time to show off, to really show what this double duelist composition is all about. And so I like this idea. I like, you know, even having a fast lane for the C hit that we don't see as often on the pistol round. There's so many cool things now that G2 is able to bring.
And no info off the guiding light right there at the start of that round. Yeah, this... My head is still spinning. My head is still spinning. We've got... with singular flashes, right? You'd usually think maybe you see the Omen here for that paranoia, but no, Whippy playing the Astra comfortable there. Meanwhile, comfortability is the name of the game for FaZe when they have stingers in their hands. So G2 say, hey, we are happy to take those off your hands for you. Dicey, again, finds himself the last man standing. No longer on the harbor, but on the Killjoy this time around. But no difference in the outcome. 2 rounds now the way of G2.
And if FaZe likes to play faster, they're not ready for G2, right? Everything that we've seen has been the Neon going in, Shazam getting and able to give so much support to those 2 duelists as well with the flashes to get that entry, to make sure that FaZe has no space to work with. And FaZe are going to continue to do the same. This is scary that they're going to fall into this territory of forcing and buying when it just seems like at this point G2 should be able to outpace them every single time.
G2 definitely have the ability to set the pace. I wonder if this Trailblazer coming down long tells Poise that he doesn't need to use the Aftershock, so he does actually hang on to that one. FaZe still with Stingers. Dicey opting into the Sheriff here in this round. Heaps of util still available to this FaZe squad as they look to lean out towards the A side. I say lean, but it's 4 players heavy. This teeter-totter is heavily leaned one way. Paranoia comes out. Fault line comes through. Nobody really stunned up, but Oxy trying to help his teammates that were stuck short. And he gets punished for it, but they're not expecting another one. Shazam still here. And they'll now have to try and fight out of this corner. Good for 2 as Poise will eventually find the trade, and we land here in a 2v2. That spike to be planted. Dicey gives up his position. Dapper, however, has not. He's got a beautiful backstab, a bit more on it, and Whippy there to assist and find that final kill. G2, I mean, happy to have 3 in a row here, FaZe. Go ahead and keep forcing up. See what happens to that economy as this game gets deeper.
Yeah, you know what he said before we started, before we saw the compositions about maybe FaZe, you know, having a slight lead. I'm not so sure anymore. It's getting scary on that 3rd round, right? Because G2, it feels like it's giving FaZe a little bit of their own medicine with this fast playstyle, and especially not only because Penny and Oxy are insane by themselves, but because Shazam is giving so much support to them to work with, right? When they were able to trade early on, when they were playing towards short, and they're going to continue to bring this on this A side where you know the Jet wants to go.
A smoke out towards long this time. Still a guiding light for information. Oxy wants to push aggressively with the operator, and he will be allowed. No contention on the opposite side. It's poised. Will hold the angle on the push out towards A. Meanwhile, Dapper probably happy to finally get some extra action out towards the C site. He's got a nice little setup. Trip inside garage, trip long. Cam also watching here. And Penny's just been playing rotator. That's what the neon speed allows you to do. The Seekers confirm, well, basically every hunch that G2 just had in this round.
The Seekers, the first ultimate that was available for this side of G2, and it gets that information, which is similar to what we saw in Icebox, right? Just even creating that delay for FaZe to play with and to feel comfortable taking this map control, especially towards mid, especially after losing Rossi.
Not the best position for the lockdown, could be compromised, but nobody here to challenge and no way to deal with that one, so it will be forced off the line. Oxy, however,
30 seconds
gonna walk aggressively. This operator about to turn shotgun. We'll see if Poise wins out the duel. Shots through the wall. The first one lands to the head, the next one to the body, and as the smokes dissipate, it's Baby Bay, the next to fall. The spike has been planted, however, and FaZe now look to play defense. Dicey has one nanoswarm to work with. Paranoia goes out. It'll turn off the lights for 2. Shazam gonna return the favor with the flash, confirm some information, and Dapper's got himself 4 kills on the round. Eventually will be answered. But G2 comfortably in the lead here, 4 rounds deep on Haven.
Dapper, what a performance there. 4 kills for the Cypher as well. And also a lockdown that came down from FaZe. That you said it wasn't the best position, but it also wasn't really the best timing, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to play for that retake on the B side for G2. They feel comfortable, and it is what we're used to seeing for anyone on the defensive side. So it just didn't feel like it got as much volley as they wanted to, and FaZe just had to invest that kind of utility to clear out the entirety of B before getting that spike planted. And after that, it's all about what comes next for G2, and it's going and going again. Again, the stingers for FaZe.
Okay, Oxy was waiting. Oxy was saying, guys, finally, this is my round, I promise. He's finally on the board. They finally get a little bit of ROI on the operator. And unfortunately for FaZe, it looks like a couple of players still want to hang out this way. They're expecting aggression, but none to be had as the Trailblazer clear things out. And yeah, G2 just in full control here, really setting the pace. And when you don't let FaZe play the crazy playstyle that they had, like they did on Fracture, it allows for G2 to just gather their thoughts, right? To actually want to play the style that they prefer. And it's working well.
That's the key, exactly what you said, right? Being able to have it and control the pace of the match. As long as G2 is able to keep up with this fast hits and retakes, I mean, they have everything going on for them. They also have the momentum from the last map, a map that looked really solid for the squad. So just a little bit more of the same that they have to incorporate. And once again, the B hit.
Another B hit. Penny was trying to deny the plant. Unfortunately couldn't. Quick tap onto the spike will buy some of that utility out. Fault line gone. And the Nano Swarm dealt with. Flash into Bunny gets nothing. Rolling Thunder comes through and Baby Bay decapitates one. It's his counterpart Noxy. That's the operator down. FaZe still a player ahead. Only working with Stingers though, and the penetration from the Vandal is just a bit better. The long range battle goes the way of Poise. Baby Bay still cutting down the defense. And Penny just gonna try and head for the hills, but Dicey runs him down, and FaZe will find their first in way of eBay Thrifty.
The eBay Thrifty, we haven't seen too much of those, but for FaZe, it's gonna give them the first round here on the 3rd map. And something that they've been looking for a long time, though. How many times can you replicate that round, right? When everybody is coming so fast for this side of G2, and you have a Rolling Thunder to work with. You also have the knives instead of the stingers. There's so many conditions that is hard to picture are gonna happen again, so FaZe are gonna have to go for a different approach. And I mean, G2 already showed them they have an operator towards this A side. They're able to get the flashes, the support of Shazam. It just so full structure, but Baby Bay though, answering back, an operator of his own on the attacking side, and Oxy is down.
Yeah, it gives Oxy a taste of his own medicine, and Oxy has been, at least towards A, that pace setter. He's been out towards long, he's been out towards short, and finally FaZe are looking for ways and successfully finding ways to deal with that. Early fault line in the round, somebody jumping off the angle, and Baby Bay re-peeking it there with the operator. And once more, FaZe want to try and hit this site, but we know Shazam, an op player himself, slows things down with that kill onto Poise. Now flashes off the table. I believe the Paranoia also used, so Supa won't have that. And Dapper once more. Arms wide open here. More players can fit on the door. Dapper, well, gonna be the only one for now as Rose looks to hold down the site. Lower in HP. Defenders rotating. I mean, not a whole lot of commotion given what we see here in the X-ray. There's players on. The spike's getting planted and everything's been let go by the wayside as Rossi battles back for one of his own. Make it 2, and Shazam now with the operator has to try and find his way back into this round. A flash available in just a few seconds. Ahead spotted, but he was still jumping on the box, and FaZe have done it again for 2 in a row.
That was all about Rossi, towards the end. 3 kills as well. Knowing that FaZe couldn't even clear the back of sight. They have a lot of utility, but even then, you saw Dapper still standing strong and getting that support just in time. Rossi is able to change things up, take FaZe to 2 rounds now. And now, allow maybe to keep this operator on the attacking side, which is interesting if you're going for that A contest, as we saw for the last round, but again, how many times is G2 gonna allow that to happen?
Turret destroyed.
FaZe about to be met with a taste of their own medicine. Finally, G2 have stooped to the stinger buy here on Haven. Paranoia goes through, nobody caught in that. Look at all the util tossed out this way, and with that 4 players FaZe, they're just gonna back away from it.
It's another one of those reactive rounds coming in for FaZe where they have to back up. They invested a lot of utility, that Paranoia trying to get something with the cage, all the wires as well. The position from Dapper that is just so clean every time to make the lives of the FaZe players a little bit more difficult. Noxie, in the meantime, is going to take advantage of this, going to push forward.
The eyes are down. My ultimate is ready.
Only Dapper spotted. Yeah, I was wondering how much more Dicey was expecting, and he was expecting a whole lot more, unfortunately. Doesn't win the duel, though. The Knives, a bit better than the Vandal there in that. As 4 still stand, and they're looking to crunch here from mid and from the spawn. Shazam up close and personal. No util to work with, unfortunately. Oxy. I mean, this was the round, right? Stingers and Blades. This put FaZe on the board. We'll see if this will put G2 back in the win column as Baby Bay goes through the cloud burst with 30 HPs, running right into the Neon, unfortunately. The no-scope doesn't land, and Shazam, who is hiding back sights in the spawn, finds 2 kills on the round. And G2, they get it done with Stingers.
Another eBay Thrifty now coming through for the side of the G2. The adaptation was good for both teams, right? FaZe going for the C side, getting that spike planted all the way back. And trying to watch it, knowing that there was a potential rotation that was actually happening from G2, but even then, when it comes to getting the timing right, G2 was just a little bit better at getting ahead, and Shazam, again, continues to be a big part of it. Taking the lead when it comes to the kills, but FaZe, big round for them. Rifles in their hands, lockdown available. Hunter's Fury as well. But they need to get that map control first.
And that they do. I think when you look at a couple of the biggest head-to-head in way of agents, right? You have Dicey with that lockdown, and only having the Sky means there is no way to deal with that ultimate for G2. Unless you're going to run and sacrifice your body, right? And try and fight for that. You have to just back away and concede the site, and that's exactly what happens. We'll see if there's anything that'll deal with Dapper up top in heaven. This flash is going to buy some extra time as the smokes go out. Walking right on into the wire. Baby Bay will look to go up and over the top of the other one, but the site's been taken. Shock darts go out, and it will clear Dapper for now. Cam know for information, and Super needs to be careful on his way out.
Oh, it would have been cool to see the shock dart hitting at the same time as that lockdown, but not really the case. So Dapper still in that position towards heaven, having to play the 5v5. A little bit of damage already taken from G2 as he played those crossfires so perfectly. Penny good for 2 before getting taken down.
Last player standing.
And now down to the 1v1. Poise steps up on the other side of the wall. He'll find himself on the site, and things got awkward there for a second. G2 looked like they wanted to hit quickly, but they waited, right? They toss out the Cosmic Divide. They toss out the Seekers. I thought right behind it would be the rest of the team, but it was a flash instead, and it allowed FaZe to set up in all of these angles, right? A play route towards short, in graffiti, in spawn. And G2, unfortunately, they just fall short here in the retake.
Even for the potential clutch, right? It just seems like they weren't really sure of where Poise was going to be located, so it gives that round towards the end for this side of FaZe. And yeah, the timing felt a little bit uncomfortable for a full retake to take place, but there's a lot of damage being done, and Oxy going for it again. Shot down by Superman. Not expecting the side of FaZe to be so close.
Completely unexpected, and I mean, that's the kind of in-your-face style I was expecting to see with Baby Bay on the Neon, right? Just using that high gear, walk your way into short, beat the operator on the angle. Now, G2 want to fight back. This one, look at that. The slide is good. The shot's even better, and Penny and Shazam not only pick up 2 kills, but they'll find themselves that operator. The neural theft comes out. Some extra information garnered. Player run down, that being Poised. Dicey, good to battle back out of this one is Shazam. Now the last one standing, we get a run back here. Initiator versus Initiator. This time it's Rossi on the side of FaZe. That spike is not in his possession. Shazam walks on through. And another eBay Thrifty here for this G2 squad. But how about Shazam, Dryad?
He got a chance for the clutch last round. Didn't work out, but this was the time he knew it was his. For a second, we see both of the initiators trying to spot each other, but it was just Shazam with a better duel at the end, and just absolutely on fire right now. What we've seen for the support that he is giving Oxy and Penny, but also the way that he's fragging out, almost having those stickers again, is giving now the 6 rounds for G2. And they could get to 7. There's a hero rifle in the hands of Poise.
Standing ahead.
But here we go. FaZe doing FaZe things. Deep into garage they go. Paranoia across the site. Dapper completely unaffected by all of the utility here as the cages go up. Whippy gonna follow on top of the logs, and it's just a bloodbath here on the C site. G2 quickly deal with FaZe to find the 7.
Immediately shot down, right? And there was not so much to work with, but it was one of the quickest rounds that we've seen, not only in this map, but throughout today, right? G2 having the right read, and I think Dapper has also been a key part of it. A player that is so flexible and also so patient to be able to communicate with everybody else where they're going. They're going to the seaside. He's playing in that corner. He's staying safe and making sure that at least a trade was going to happen. I think those are the 2 players that a lot of people were concerned about. Dapper and Shazam, and look at the way that they're delivering for this last map.
Yeah, absolutely. I was clicking through some really old VODs, and I had stumbled across, I believe it was a Sentinels and 100 Thieves game, and it just reminded me of kind of, you know, how strong the individual players were for Sentinels when they were at their peak. And, I mean, it was just clip after clip, round after round, that Dapper was finding so much value. The timing for Dapper on the Cypher... Dapper is the sole reason why I like Haven. Because of what he does on the Cypher, on Haven, I think it's... Nobody plays it better in the Senti lurk role. I think Dapper really does it the best. And so I'm happy to see him, you know, back to form, especially when it matters most. You know, a map 3 to grab an early lead in your group, that's everything. And right now, Shazam just completely in Cerebro here, has the read on what FaZe want to do, but is also fragging and helping his team. Like you said, Dryad, this is a really good showing, but FaZe now have the tools in this next round to maybe make me eat my words. Blades online from the shadows, ready and available and poised very close to the Rolling Thunder. And we'll see where their final destination is here as Baby Bay going deep into the spawn.
In the big round that we saw for FaZe on that B side was actually Baby Bay having that ultimate to come through and able to deliver the skills. As I say that though, everybody is shot down by Whippy on C. Baby Bay down as well. The last chance here keeps fading away one by one. G2, and again, this entire team with such a good read on what FaZe wants to do, and it's just like, it feels like FaZe is never really comfortable when it comes to that economy, when it comes to the push. They know there's so many risky factors, and they struggle even to get control in a single one of the sites. We saw it towards B when that lockdown, a weird lockdown came in. We saw on that C side as well with Dapper playing back. There's so many ideas that G2 is bringing that is shutting FaZe down. Now you have 4 ultimates. Now is the last round. Can you make a change? Can you make it 4-8?
And it's crazy. Like, this is where the confidence is now for FaZe. Round after round, they can't hit this A site because Shazam is here and he's been playing insane. There's also the operator, and although Oxy only has 3 kills, you still have to give respect to that op.
Yeah.
But now that they have 4 ults, they finally get the confidence to say, hey, we can find ways to deal with this. That shot goes wide, a little bit of movement. Oxy getting some fancy feet here, but picks up the next one as well. And this is why you have to be afraid of this A site as a lockdown. Now in place, Oxy to back away from it all, but G2 in a great spot here in the last round of the half.
Gonna go for the last chance here. 2 players alive though for FaZe. Yeah, you see Poise. It's all in their hands, and Oxy goes down. You had to wait for the lockdown though. And Rolling Thunder will be coming through. They have to push.
They do, because there's players hot on their heels, those players being whippy. Poise trying to push his way into Penny, but just to no avail, to no use. G2 show dominance on defense here on Haven, and FaZe look completely lost on their attack.
Has every first half ended 9-3.
Yeah, we've had, but we haven't got the curse. Whoever's been up 9-3 is just absolutely decimated.
Yeah, that's true. Even without winning the pistol, as we saw on the first map, if FaZe still was able to bring it back, then for the second one, it was actually G2 getting that pistol and that second round, and things look a little bit more standard. But we could have just cursed the curse. We gotta see
that is true.
how it turns out, though. Honestly, I mean, the way that G2 is looking, that wasn't defense, by the way. Now they get to attack with double duelists. With a fast lane as well. I mean, fast lane not gonna be available for this round, but you're still gonna have those stuns coming through. And an A hit, potentially. With 2 players on the other side.
A very passive approach. Now they peek to try and find some damage. That's exactly what they'll find. Baby Bay, however, on the receiving end of quite a bit of that damage. Will try again with the frenzy. Unfortunately, the shots just aren't landing. Whippy, I mean, just having a heyday from defense on C to now attacking on A. It's multi-kills for the Astra. With the spike planted, another player to fall. FaZe still in an awkward spot. Rossi and Supa gonna try their hand at it, however, and Supa cuts down 3 and wins the round for FaZe.
No way! Superman delivering 3 kills with the classic right away, one after the other. I was gonna say, it's so difficult. Rossi, they already know where he is, and Superman just takes it in his own hands and is able to get that round for FaZe. Oh, what a good play. 2 of them as well. Flash with the paranoia. Planned out perfectly. Expecting that push from G2. This is what they've been doing on the pistol.
That's so tough. Whippy ran out of gas. He got his 2 kills on the round and said, I'm done, guys. I can't trade anybody else. Supa, oh, what a round. And that's exactly what you need, right? Let's get momentum back. How about having somebody go absolutely huge, 1v3ing, and then a start like this for Baby Bay? That's everything that FaZe need here to get back into this.
You break that. That's the 100% pistol round win rate they had from G2. So it's just taking it round by round, right? The step-by-step scenarios for FaZe to be able to get something going on here. And Baby Bay playing far out, but Rossi's doing it as well. Trying to shut down any possibility that G2 has on this A side, and they're gonna do it.
You know, the real only difference in that round versus whenever we've seen the inverse, right, where G2 has anti-eco buy after winning the pistol and FaZe has stingers, is for whatever reason, G2 always felt comfortable in their anti-eco buy, right, after winning the pistol. Somebody, 1 or 2 players would buy a stinger. And then the rest of the team, you know, Bulldog, Spectre, whatever it is.
Right.
FaZe, they have this buy that they have now. They had Spectres, they had Bulldogs. They made sure that even if there is a force on the side of G2, FaZe will have the better weaponry, and they won't leave it up to that 50-50, you know, stinger duel, which is why we see G2 just get completely run over in that round. Not ready for Baby Bay on a close angle at all. And the Stingers just couldn't get the job done. So an awkward round for G2, but they'll try their hand once more. Shazam grabs some information inside the garage. Now, you know players are there, but where, right? Are you expecting this high-low?
I don't think so. You can be expecting it, and Baby like, likes these positions that are a little bit higher up. Just using that jet to the best that you can, to the best of your ability. But I mean, for G2, do you really want to take that risk of going garage? You know, there's at least one player there, right? But you know, FaZe, right? If they want to take a fight, they're gonna take a fight to you. And FaZe it here, Icy and Baby, they're not planning on moving.
This Trailblazer should open it up, though. Stars come down. Trailblazer dealt with. Dicey, though, still the bait. No, it's Baby made the bait. Dicey now going to swing. Beautiful paranoia. Catches two and a guiding light behind it. Shots through the box. Then, well, unfortunately, the uprights were split there, so Dicey only good for one of the two. Now Whippy going to try and pick up the pieces. Nice flash. Needs to try and back away, and Whippy's got himself the 1v1. Recon Bolt reveals.
I have the spike.
The Bulldog does have high enough penetration, but look at this, Dryad. The clock, it's not great. A Spectre across the site, and Rossi cuts him down before he can get there. FaZe will find another, and we may have Curse to the Curse. We may have done that, Dryad.
You know, as you were saying it, I was like, wait, did we just do something? Something feels different. The air is a little bit more dense. I'm not I'm not really sure. But I mean, it's scary territory. Even then, right? We saw the Trailblazer coming in.
Let's go.
Baby gets taken down, and everybody there for FaZe is able to react and rotate with the players towards B and towards C. So this is a real round, right? This is when we see if things get even more scary for G2. That lead that they have that they don't want to lose, because all Vandals in their hand and playing it a lot slower compared to what we've seen, right? We saw that aggression, but it was all defensive sided. Now we get to take a look at kind of what I would expect from a team like this one, right? Trying to get that information, trying to bait FaZe as they try to get that forward positioning, as they try to get that map control. A T-long as well that they already have.
And a lot of info here from Baby Bay. Maybe a kill behind it. It's Whippy gonna play the hop across. So now that they know the op is out towards C-long, maybe they look to head elsewhere. That's Spike still flirting with the idea of heading that way. And look at this, FaZe flirting with the idea of rotating. They're gonna leave Baby Bay on an island here out towards C. Superman close to be able to assist. And no, not close at all. I mean, the duelist initiator, right? You can sell this. You have two duelists. You can still take space over towards the C sites. And I mean, this round is free. It's a free plant for G2.
And when you look at the wires that Dapper had set up, it was to go for the C hit, right? But they were still extremely careful of the operator, of one of the players pushing forward from FaZe. But that was the plan, and they were going to commit to this plan all the way until the end, especially when they keep playing this 5v5 and this full retake coming through.
And G2 just ready for it all. Player out towards grass to deal with Supa. Oxy now on the backstab. Spots two, takes down one. There's a second. And everybody getting cut down. Rossi. It's a very, very tall hill to climb to try and win this round. Not only in way of bodies that he has to deal with, but that clock is ticking. And damage is going to be name of the game. And you mentioned it at the start of the round, Dryad. This was an important one for FaZe to win because G2 had the rifles in their hand. It was their first full buy here in this round, or in this half, I should say, on their attack. And, well, they did pretty darn well.
I like how G2, and I said it right, I like how they commit to the initial plan all the way until the end. And they're able to afford this because they have those players that are going to push, try to get some information, try to force some rotations on this A side, while that Spike is getting comfortably planted on C. In the early small advantage, the early plans are what are doing everything for G2. FaZe about to get pretty much every single ultimate in the table, but you don't want it to be just too late for them.
And the weight on Baby Bay's shoulders here in this round with the blades. Turret dealt with, stars are down, and that Spike slowly but surely working its way up towards the C site. G2 making the call that nobody's here. Now they'll look to set up once more in the post plant, but look at where they're headed. Dryad all the way through their own spawn. They don't want to play around the map at all, and G2 are set up so perfectly to play around the map.
And Dapper could find one here. It's so patient as well. Yeah, he's able to find one. Here's a little bit of noise, and Oxy there for the 180 as well. Poise going down. And Superman's last one alive. The stingers can be enough, but the time slowly running out for this defuse. I don't think they're gonna fall for it. It's so well. And again, look, I've said it so many times with Dapper and his positioning and the patience that this player has is not something that you get anywhere and from any player, even those Sentinels, right? Sometimes you want to push forward, you play a little bit closer to your team, but Dapper is just so comfortable knowing that he's able to take a big advantage, a big number advantage for the side of G2 as they get closer and closer to closing up the first match of challengers. FaZe is gonna take a timeout.
And it's difficult, right? I think FaZe, at this point in the game, no better time to come back, right? You have one round of wiggle room. You don't have to be completely perfect for the next 7 rounds. But you do have to start trusting in yourself, right? You have to trust that. I think they had the right call in that round where G2 faked A and hit C. They had the initial call of leaving Baby Bay on an island. Superman was rotating off. They were going to leave the jet op out towards C, but then they just bite really hard on that fake, and G2 seemingly have been able to exploit that. We'll see if they do it again. We'll see what changes are made. FaZe taking their second time out of the game. They have a full buy behind it, 3 ultimates behind it, and Dicey's close to the lockdown. So a lot of retake potential. The tools are there for FaZe.
Yeah.
Now they got to put it together.
Yeah, and the problem here is that it is the same as we saw in Icebox, right? Where you have a lot of ultimates, but then can you capitalize from each one of them in time? Make sure that Poise doesn't get taken down early. Or a pick that would be dangerous, like this one. Dapper now a little more aggressive, gets 2 Baby Bay and Rossi down, and this is not something that they were expecting.
And what is that based? Okay, that got awkward. I think Penny spotted him, and okay, Dicey trying to help FaZe get back into this one. Matches the firepower of Dapper and finding 2. We'll take care of the Trailblazer. See if he's able to get out of this position. It's not the best one to be in. Stuck back sight. No smokes to get him out of here. The flashes, the fault line, the stuns. Poised is on the other side of the map, unfortunately, but Dicey still fragging out. This is what this guy is known for. Doesn't need the chamber only. He'll do it here on the Killjoy. With 4 kills on the round, Shazam left to try and pick up the pieces. And with that, FaZe going to play their numbers advantage. 2 players here on the C site. Seekers reveal both, and Shazam heads for the hills.
Found one.
And has to run away. There was a rotation already happening for Poise, expecting G2 to be hitting that A site, but that spike was strong on that C side until everybody was down. This could be the ace as well for Dicey, looking so clean, especially playing so far back, right? All the way backside on C and able to get those duels.
Flash is available here for Shazam. Spike planted just outside default. Should be spotted if anybody walks up to it. Dicey on the swing. Dicey's gonna fall, and Shazam will do it. The eBay clutch as G2 steal away the round.
Match point.
2 clutches that we've seen so far, and both of them have been from Shazam. There were 2 possibilities in my head that would be so fitting, right? One was that the one thing that I mentioned, Dicey getting that ace, being so close to it, and being able to play Poise around him, or Shazam being able to get that clutch, right? And he was able to deliver 17 kills so far. And match point now for G2.
Get out of my way.
Match and series point for G2 after a grueling map 1. Their fracture, not the cleanest. Definitely some things to fix on that broken map, but for this one here of Haven and Icebox, they look pretty damn good. As Dapper unfortunately loses out on timing this time around. He does good damage on Baby Bay, but 11 HP Could be enough to find another headshot here for the Jet as he stays postured aggressively. And the 4 remaining for G2 are just on the other side. A barrel was spotted. The dash is online. A 2-player swing, and it's Oxy that finally cut them down. Hunter's Fury comes through, and Rossi gonna have to give up on this one. Not before finding a kill, though. The relay bolt won't quite find the concussant they were hoping for, but the duelist here in full effect. And the zaps are online. Penny healthy. He wants to go aggressive. Shrouded step to cross out an A link in the lockdown. We'll slow this push for now. FaZe backs against the wall, though, here, Dryad.
3v2 running away, but that is not going to affect G2 too much if they have to go towards the C side. We've seen it from them over and over again. A fast lane potentially take this entry to be a little bit safer for Oxy. And yeah, nobody to be seen. It's on the other side.
Look how split they are, Dryad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2 3v1s, essentially, for FaZe as they look to meet up inside Garage. Oxy holds close on the angle, quickly deals a Supa, and now Dicey was so good in the last round, but he has to try and do it again, and he's got his knife out on the site. G2 do it. They go back from the depths after losing Fracture, and they take the series 2-1 over FaZe, and will grab the top spot in Group A.
Really, really, really good job from G2.